wonderful talents, but your sense of style is,
One of them?
I'm afraid not.
Saturday afternoon, 1992. You're channel surfing when your grandmother walks in, takes one look at the TV screen, and gasps in horror at what these cartoons have become. Animation has sparked congressional hearings, religious protests, and international boycotts. These are the 10 most controversial cartoons that shocked audiences and changed television forever. The Simpsons. When The Simpsons premiered in 1989, America wasn't ready for Bart Simpson. This spiky-haired fourth grader became the most controversial cartoon character of his era, not for being violent or inappropriate, but for being proudly mediocre. His catchphrase, "Eat my shorts," and his motto, "Underachiever and proud of it," sent parents and educators into absolute panic. Schools across the country banned Simpsons merchandise, claiming Bart promoted anti-intellectual attitudes and disrespect for authority. President George H.W. Bush publicly criticized the show, saying American families should be more like the Waltons and less like the Simpsons. The controversy reached such heights that stores pulled Bart Simpson t-shirts from their shelves, and teachers confiscated anything featuring the troublemaking cartoon kid. The irony was delicious. A cartoon family that actually dealt with real issues like economic struggle, marital problems, and social dysfunction was being attacked for being too realistic. Critics missed that beneath Bart's rebellious exterior was a show that ultimately celebrated family values, just wrapped in more honest packaging than previous sitcoms. The Simpsons proved that sometimes the most controversial thing you can do is tell the truth about American family life. 9. Beavis and Butthead. Mike Judge's metalhead duo didn't just push boundaries, they bulldozed through them while laughing maniacally. Premiering on MTV in 1993, Beavis and Butthead featured two teenage idiots whose favorite activities included setting things on fire, torturing animals, and making crude observations about music videos. The controversy was immediate and intense. The breaking point came in 1993 when a 5-year-old in Ohio set fire to his family's mobile home, killing his 2-year-old sister. His mother claimed he was imitating Beavis, who frequently shouted, "Fire, fire," while watching pyrotechnic music videos. MTV was forced to move the show to a later time slot, remove all fire-related content from early episodes, and add disclaimers warning viewers not to try anything they saw on screen. Congressional hearings followed, with politicians using the show as evidence that television was corrupting America's youth. Senator Ernest Hollings called it the kind of mindless violence that numbs our children. The show became a lightning rod for debates about media influence, parental responsibility, and whether cartoon stupidity could inspire real-world tragedy. Judge had created characters so convincingly dumb that people believed they could actually influence human behavior. 8. South Park. Trey Parker and Matt Stone's construction paper comedy has been offending everyone equally since 1997, but their early controversies were legendary. The show's third episode, Volcano, featured the word shit uncensored 162 times, immediately establishing South Park as television's most fearless boundary pusher. Religious groups organized boycotts over episodes mocking Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and Scientology. The Catholic League condemned the Christmas special, featuring a kung fu fighting Jesus. When the show depicted Prophet Muhammad in 2001, death threats followed. Comedy Central received bomb threats, and Parker and Stone required security details. The controversy reached international levels when The Passion of the Jew aired, leading to protests from religious organizations worldwide. Countries banned episodes, networks refused to air them, and advertisers pulled sponsorship. The show's movie, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, earned an NC-17 rating for animated content, proving that cartoon children could be just as shocking as live-action adults. What made South Park uniquely controversial was its equal opportunity offense strategy. No group, belief system, or sacred cow was safe from ridicule. 7. The Ren and Stimpy Show. John Kricfalusi's psychotic chihuahua and brain-dead cat seemed innocent enough when they premiered on Nickelodeon in 1991, but parents quickly realized something was very wrong with this children's show. Episodes featured graphic violence, sexual innuendo, and psychological torture that would have been disturbing in adult programming, let alone on a kid's network. The controversy exploded with episodes like Man's Best Friend, which featured Ren savagely beating a character with an oar while screaming maniacally. Nickelodeon refused to air it, leading to Kricfalusi's firing and a public battle over creative control versus network standards. Parents complained about the show's inappropriate content, noting that scenes of Ren and Stimpy sharing a bed references to bodily functions and violence that went far beyond typical cartoon slapstick. The situation became more complex years later when Kricfalusi faced serious personal allegations that cast his work in a darker light. 6. Fritz the Cat. Ralph Bakshi's 1972 adaptation of Robert Crumb's underground comic shattered every assumption about animated entertainment. Fritz the Cat became the first animated feature to receive an X rating, proving that cartoons could be just as adult as any live-action film. The movie featured explicit sex scenes, drug use, racial commentary, and social satire that pushed animation into completely uncharted territory. Religious groups condemned the film's graphic content, while civil rights organizations protested its racial stereotypes and controversial depictions of social issues. The movie sparked debates about animation's potential as an artistic medium versus its traditional role as family entertainment. Even creator Robert Crumb disowned the adaptation, claiming Bakshi had turned his satirical character into a crude exploitation vehicle. The controversy extended beyond content to questions about animation's future. Could cartoons be serious art, or were they doomed to remain children's entertainment? Fritz proved that animated characters could engage with adult themes, but at the cost of alienating traditional audiences and creating new moral battlegrounds. 5. Tiny Toon Adventures, One Beer. Sometimes the most controversial episodes come from the most unexpected places. In 1991, Warner Bros.' wholesome Tiny Toon Adventures aired One Beer, an anti-alcohol public service announcement that backfired so spectacularly it was immediately banned from broadcast and remains one of animation's most notorious episodes. The story followed Buster Bunny, Plucky Duck, and Hampton Pig as they find a single beer, drink it, and proceed to get completely intoxicated. They steal a car, drive recklessly, and ultimately crash and die, going to heaven where they warn viewers about alcohol's dangers. The episode was meant to discourage underage drinking, but parents were horrified to see beloved children's characters engaging in drunk driving and dying on screen. Networks refused to rerun the episode, and it was permanently pulled from syndication. Critics argued that showing cartoon characters drinking alcohol, regardless of consequences, was inappropriate for young audiences. The controversy highlighted the impossible balance between creating effective anti-drug messaging and maintaining appropriate content standards. 4. Mighty Mouse. The New Adventures. In 1987, CBS revived the classic superhero mouse with updated animation and contemporary sensibilities, but one innocent scene created a moral panic that nearly destroyed the show. In the episode The Littlest Tramp, Mighty Mouse picks flowers and sniffs them to enjoy their fragrance. To paranoid parents' groups, however, this looked suspiciously like cocaine use. The American Family Association, led by Donald Wildman, launched a campaign claiming the show was promoting drug use to children. They froze the scene, analyzed Mighty Mouse's sniffing motion, and declared it an obvious reference to cocaine snorting. CBS was bombarded with complaints, advertisers faced boycott threats, and the network was forced to defend a cartoon mouse's flower appreciation habits. Creator Ralph Bakshi fought back, explaining that the scene was completely innocent and that seeing drug references required an incredibly twisted interpretation. The controversy revealed more about adult anxieties than children's programming, showing how moral panic could transform innocent content into perceived threats. The incident became a cautionary tale about projection and interpretation, proving that sometimes the most controversial thing about a cartoon isn't what's actually there, but what worried adults think they see. 3. Tom and Jerry, the beloved cat and mouse duo, seemed harmless for decades, but modern scrutiny revealed troubling elements that sparked serious controversies about classic animation's legacy. The violence that had entertained generations suddenly looked problematic when examined through contemporary eyes. Explosions, falling anvils, and elaborate torture devices that had been comedic now seem potentially harmful to impressionable viewers. More seriously, several Tom and Jerry cartoons featured Mammy Two Shoes, a black housemaid character that perpetuated harmful stereotypes. When these cartoons were rerun on television, networks faced difficult decisions about how to handle racist depictions from animation's golden age. Some episodes were edited to remove offensive content, others were completely banned, and some received contextual warnings about historical racism. The controversy deepened when various international broadcasts censored different elements. Violence in some countries, racial content in others, creating a patchwork of versions that satisfied no one completely. Tom and Jerry became a symbol of animation's complex legacy, beloved entertainment tainted by the prejudices of its era. 2. Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane's animated sitcom, has built its reputation on controversy, but some episodes crossed lines that even cable television found uncomfortable. The show's approach to humor, no topic too sacred, no tragedy too recent, no group too protected, created a constant stream of outrage that kept it in headlines and congressional hearings. The most explosive controversy came with episodes referencing September 11th, school shootings, and other national tragedies soon after they occurred. Religious groups protested episodes mocking Christianity and Judaism, while advocacy organizations condemned jokes about disabilities, sexual assault, and domestic violence. The show was canceled twice, partly due to advertiser pressure from boycott campaigns. International controversies erupted over episodes that couldn't air in certain countries due to content restrictions. Some episodes were banned entirely, others heavily edited, creating a complex web of censorship that varied by region and broadcaster. What made Family Guy uniquely controversial was its timing. Jokes that might have been acceptable in private conversations were broadcast to millions, often before wounds had healed. 1. The censored 11, Looney Tunes. At number 1, we reach animation's most shameful legacy. 11 Warner Brothers cartoons so racially offensive that they were permanently removed from circulation in 1968 and remain banned today. These weren't obscure shorts. They were technically brilliant cartoons created by legendary directors like Bob Clampett and Tex Avery, featuring beloved characters like Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig. Titles like Coal Black and DeSeven Dwarfs and Jungle Jitters featured exaggerated racial caricatures that were considered acceptable entertainment in the 1940s but became horrifyingly embarrassing by the civil rights era. The cartoons presented African Americans, Asian Americans, and Native Americans as crude stereotypes that reinforced the worst prejudices of their time. Warner Brothers made the unprecedented decision to completely withdraw these cartoons from distribution rather than edit them, acknowledging that some content couldn't be fixed with simple cuts. They've never appeared on television, DVD releases, or streaming services, existing only in scholarly archives and bootleg collections. The censored 11 represent animation's darkest chapter, proving that even beloved entertainment can embody society's worst impulses. They remain controversial, not just for their content, but for the questions they raise about preserving versus erasing problematic artistic history. Animation has always reflected society's tensions, brilliantly, offensively, and everything between. These controversies remind us that cartoons were never as innocent as nostalgia suggests.